Without looking at the man, your fingers fumbled as you looked for medicine in the drawer. You found and ran out quickly, not looking back at the door. Taehyung wanted to talk to you, but you didn't pay any attention. You entered the room. Mrs. Kim was waiting for you. Mrs. Kim was a person who would gladly scold her grown-up son for hurting her daughter-in-law. She was so loving, caring, always treating you like her own daughter. She couldn't help but ask if Taehyung was the reason. He actually was, but for some other reason you couldn't bring yourself to ask. You let it go for her to rest after consuming medicine. You came back to your room. It was a relief that he did not follow you, nor he was in the room. You sat on the edge of the bed. That scene again flashed before you, Taehyung's face, him holding his gun, that man's terrified face. Taehyung looked no less than a criminal. What you witnessed didn't make any sense. Taehyung, who was so calm and loving, could never do something like that. You were deeply thinking when the door knocked softly. Looking at the door, you froze. You knew who it was, and it was difficult to face him. Taehyung slightly pushed the door open and peeked inside, and found you sitting. You stood at your place as he opened the door. He got up and walked to you, bent down, placing his hand on your cheek suddenly. Making an eye contact, he spoke. Before you could ever say anything, he left the room. You touched your cheek he was holding. It was the first time he ever touched your face like that. So many things were going on in your head. You wanted to talk things out and too wanted to apologize for concluding everything on your own. Before you could talk to Taehyung, Mrs. Kim approached you explaining and also asking for forgiveness. They both were guilty, but you equally felt bad for not trusting enough. You both were lying on the bed. He was trying to communicate with you normally, but you wanted to assure him that you were fine now and understood his situation. You slowly opened your eyes to meet his. Finally, the two destinations were decided, Hawaii and Italy. After Hawaii, now you both were in Italy, together spending time without stressing or worrying about anything. Romantic dates, late-night walks, and so much fun together was your routine. You were more connected, close, and comfortable with each other. At one night, you both were walking down the street near your hotel, as you wanted to dine at a street-side restaurant. On your way, you walked past a flower shop, and suddenly your steps halted at the sight of beautiful flowers. Taehyung noticed he was about to go buy them, but she started walking again. As you reached and took seat, you gazed around the surroundings of the Italian city. The ambience was serene, and the aroma of Italian cuisine wafted through the air. You looked back and saw Taehyung at a distance talking with the florist. You couldn't help but smile, anticipating the evening with him. Meanwhile, Taehyung was carefully selecting a bouquet for his beloved wife. He kept an eye on you from a distance, admiring your beauty as he sat at the restaurant, his heart filled with affection. However, his joy turned to concern when he noticed two guys approaching you. He observed and sensed that they were trying to flirt. He clenched his jaw, anger rising within him. They do not dare to approach you if Taehyung hasn't sent his bodyguards back as he wanted just the two of you. He hurriedly paid for the flowers and instructed the florist to send them to the hotel reception. Determined to protect you, he walked briskly towards the restaurant. Just as he felt uncomfortable, Taehyung arrived, his expression a mix of sternness and protective concern. The guys, sensing his presence, backed off, realizing they had crossed a line. Later, you both went to a designer boutique. As Taehyung wanted to buy a few dresses for you, he was observing you as you tried on the dress he chose. Looking in the mirror, you asked,